The recent news of Tiffany Henyard, the mayor of Dolton, being handcuffed by the FBI has sent shockwaves through the community. Rumors have swirled about her shopping spree, possibly being funded through questionable wire fraud. And according to federal investigators, she turned Dalton's millions into crippling debt. This is no small-town drama. It's a scandal on a whole different level. While the town's bank account was plummeting, Henyard was living a lavish lifestyle, flaunting luxury vacations, designer handbags, and expensive security details that cost more than many people's homes. The situation keeps getting more outrageous the deeper you look. How does a town with millions in the bank end up drowning in debt? Tiffany Henyard certainly has a lot to explain, and the feds are listening closely. Let's rewind and take a closer look. Dalton's once beloved golden girl has now become the FBI's latest headache. The saga began when Tiffany Henyard was sworn in as mayor following the sudden death of Frank Zuccarelli. While the timing raised some eyebrows, Henyard quickly made a splash, promising big changes for Dalton's residents. At first, the town was all in on Tiffany, who seemed like its own homegrown celebrity, with grand plans and even grander promises. But the honeymoon phase didn't last long. Before you could blink, things started to look suspicious. Henyard's leadership quickly turned from ambitious to downright shady. Instead of managing a town, it seemed like she was running her own personal kingdom. As Dalton's bank account rapidly dwindled, Henyard's administration became not just controversial but outright combative. Anyone who dared to criticize her was swiftly silenced. You might be wondering how Henyard got away with all of this. Well, the village's board tried to intervene and investigate the growing concerns over her extravagant spending, but Henyard wasn't having it. She overrode their attempts with lightning speed, stifling any effort to hold her accountable. Meanwhile, Henyard was living large, treating herself like she had her own personal ATM. Designer goods, lavish trips, and a security team likely costing more than the average citizen's annual salary were all part of her lavish lifestyle.
Dalton has been the assessor here in Thornton Township for the past 10 years, an elected position that helps residents deal with exemptions and property tax appeals. But when she arrived at work this morning, something strange happened.
This was your office?
Yes.
What happened when you tried to open it?
It doesn't work.
Not only had Elston been locked out of her own office, but boxes of sensitive documents that she kept in her office were spread around the common area.
This was under lock and key before.
This was under lock and key.
And now it's just out in the open?
Now it's just out in the open. So it has the taxpayer's name, address.
So who did this to you?
Well, I imagine this new supervisor, Tiffany Henyard.
Brian and Natalie, it is very clear that the trustees in Thornton Township have trust issues, refusing to second a motion by Tiffany Henyard to get routine township bills paid.
Our motion that we paid the bills for the general fund. Is there a second? Is there a motion and second? Call the roll.
Trustee Jones?
Nope. Radio silence after Henyard attempts to get general fund bills paid. Here's why the trustees didn't go along with it. Last night, the agenda included none of those proposals, so they refused to budge on this.
You guys still don't want to move forward paying any of the bills in the general fund? That is my question.
Is there a day the previous week that we could pick that we could set to review the bills?
Trustee, y'all already have the bills. Do you want to pay the bills for the general fund?
What the public
No,
needs to
no,
know.
no. They already know. Stop.
They don't even.
Our meeting is on
So that's a
Tuesday.
no then.
We're here.
That's
We're here.
no. So
Can't time to review
So
it.
we
Yeah, my question is, are you
to
paying the bills?
review invoices.
Point of order. Is there a motion on the floor to pay the general fund?
So that motion to pay those bills failed. Henyard adjourned the meeting and walked out. Natalie.
For the past decade, Stone has served as the assessor for Thornton Township, an elected role that helps residents with exemptions and property tax appeals. However, when she arrived at work this morning, something strange happened. She couldn't get her office to heat up, and, worse, boxes of private documents that were once securely locked away had been scattered throughout the common area. These documents, which contained sensitive taxpayer information, including names and addresses, were now exposed to the public. So who was behind this? Stone points the finger at the new leadership. Supervisor Tiffany Henyard, along with trustees Natalie and Brian. It's clear that Thornton Township's trustees are struggling with a lack of trust. As they've resisted Henyard's attempts to take control, Henyard had pushed to move general fund bills, but the trustees refused to approve it. When Henyard attempted to pay these bills, there was nothing but silence from the trustees. What's more puzzling is that the meeting agenda didn't include any of these proposals, so the trustees were unwilling to make any moves. My question is, could there be a connection to earlier decisions made the previous week? We could review the bills, but trust me, you already have them. Do you actually want to pay them? It seems the answer is no. Our next meeting is on Tuesday, so we're here to discuss it. But my question is there a motion on the floor to pay the general bills? If there is, does that motion fail? Henyard adjourned the meeting and walked out, while things in Dalton are falling apart. The town went from having millions in the bank to sinking more than $3.5 million in debt. That's not just bad budgeting, that's like setting your wallet on fire and wondering why you can't pay rent. And then there's the FBI investigation. They're not just looking at a few receipts, they're digging into everything: payroll, budgets, credit card statements, and more. It's like watching a train wreck in slow motion. Henyard went from being Dalton's golden girl to public enemy number one faster than you can say fraud. Now the feds are closing in. Her empire of luxury goods and extravagant trips is about to come crashing down, and the truth is finally coming to light. The feds don't mess around, but what exactly are they going to do to Henyard? It's like they're trying to piece together a million-piece puzzle with her face on it. What could be so explosive that the FBI is treating it like the next Watergate? Trust me, the FBI is taking this investigation seriously. They dropped the hammer on Tiffany Henyard hard and fast, and they're digging into every detail of her life. And let me tell you, it's looking messier than a toddler's art project. The feds have slapped her with not one, but 2 subpoenas. That's right, they're coming at her from every angle. The first one focuses on her personal business dealings. They want to know everything about her restaurant, her property management company, and even her political action committee. But wait, there's more. The second subpoena is all about the township's financial records, budgets, payroll records, and expense reimbursements. When an ex-FBI agent says it's serious, you know this isn't just some small issue. This is no longer just town drama, it's getting a lot juicier. The FBI isn't just zeroing in on Henyard, they're casting a wide net, pulling in her entire inner circle for questioning. It's as if they're trying to track down every single penny that's flowed through Dalton's coffers. You might be wondering, is this really serious? Well, let me tell you, according to former FBI agent Ross Rice, it's very serious. The investigation is broad in scope, involving a large number of people and entities from whom the feds are demanding records. But it doesn't stop there. Keith Freeman is also in the hot seat, and other township officials are feeling the heat too. It's like the feds are working to untangle an entire web of potential misconduct. And if you thought that was the worst of it, hold on tight because there's more. The FBI has been interviewing witnesses left and right, grilling local business owners and former employees. They're piecing this puzzle together, one interview at a time, and from the looks of it, the picture they're forming is far from pretty. For Henyard and her crew, the FBI is leaving no stone unturned, no receipt overlooked, no bank statement left unexplored. They're determined to get to the bottom of this mess and won't rest until they've uncovered every last detail. So, what does all this mean for Tiffany Henyard? Well, it looks like her days of living large off Dalton's dime may be coming to a screeching halt. The feds are closing in, and the receipts for her empire of luxury and excess are piling up, making her situation look shakier than a Jenga tower in an earthquake. But just when you thought she couldn't dig a deeper hole, Henyard bought herself a gold-plated shovel. The amount of taxpayer money she's accused of blowing through could make even Jeff Bezos blush. But what exactly was she spending it on? Buckle up, because this shopping spree is wild. Let's start with the most important, her police protection detail. Yes, you heard that right. While Dalton was struggling to keep the lights on, Henyard was strutting around with a security team costing more than the entire defense budget of some small countries. It's like she thought she was the President of the United States, not the mayor of a small town in Illinois. And while Henyard was living it up with her personal army, the rest of Dalton was left to fend for themselves when it came to dealing with real crime. It's as if she was playing cop while the actual police were left with nothing but water guns. But wait, it gets crazier. She spent $33,000 on Amazon in a single day. Seriously, how many wigs, batteries, and BRS do you need? Yet, she was buying things like gold-plated staplers and designer face masks. Meanwhile, while Henyard was living large, Dalton was drowning in debt. Millions in the red. But oh no, she wasn't done yet.